Hey y'all. I wish I knew what to say. I don't. I'm not exactly starting this video with a topic or a reason or a purpose, which is weird. It's weird to do that. Usually when I start a video, I have like a topic or a thing that I want to talk about and bring to your attention, but it's kind of the point. Is like I don't have a lot to that I want to talk about or bring to people's attention publicly recently, which is hard to feel when you have a YouTube channel, with nearly 11,000 subscribers. And granted, I know that's over the course of 14 years, but I still get hundreds of people watching these, so I don't know. It feels like there's some pressure, some demand, something's there, creating that pressure. But I don't know. I mean, the thing is, there's so much to talk about. There's a fucking billion things that I should be talking about, that I'm outraged about, that I'm I mean, look at the state of trans rights in the United States, and it's going backwards. Period. And it's unpleasant. And yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I can't make a video being outraged every single time Trump does something or someone in his administration does something that's anti-trans, because I can't make that many videos. So by the time I sit down to oh, I've got a video idea, right? I'm going to respond to that thing. By the time I sit down to make another video, to make a video about it, maybe it's only been a day. I wanted to think through it, get my thoughts together before I permanently recorded it and placed it out there for the public. Didn't do that this time. But by the time I get there, it's gone, because there's been a billion other awful things that have happened. It's like I can't keep the pace. I mean, there's other things. There's sort of interesting trans-related things come my way. This is all trans-related because we've talked about this before, and that's the only thing I can talk about on this channel that people like or respond to. There was a really interesting thing recently where, for example, a local bakery up in the Berkeley area did this thing where they put up signs in their store asking people to only use gender-neutral pronouns for their workers. And I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to be like, we're so down with it that we know about not only do we know about gender neutral pronouns, we prefer them for our workforce. Well, as somebody who has had to go through a lot to get female pronouns used on me, I would never work there. Period. That would be awful for me as a trans woman. And I don't think that they thought it through. How their policy of being so progressive on trans issues is actually sort of out of sync, at least with some people's trans experiences and identities. And it's just okay, that's fun. There's the video. It's done. What do you think? Like, comment, subscribe down below. So that was one. I thought about that. I actually made a couple of videos that only my patrons saw, because just trying to figure out how to sort of operate, and what sort of videos I want to make for this audience. And this is probably going to be another one of those videos that's it's patron only, even that's if it even gets posted. But I don't know, all of this really is to say that I'm struggling to make videos, and you've probably seen that. If you're looking for recent videos on my channel, it's not very frequent, but I've kept a semi-regular pace for over a decade, with one break, a minor break. So there's this other part too, where like it's been about a year since I graduated with my joint masters, which was awesome. So I've got a pretty interesting and difficult job working in local policy for a local elected official. If you probably know, if you're a regular, that I've done some interesting and like big things that I'm super proud of. And there's like more interesting and big things that I've done recently. But they're not about trans stuff. None of it has to do with trans stuff. I made a video recently where like trans stuff came up at work. We like that, right? But like a lot of the really cool stuff I'm doing, it's not trans related. Let me tell you this though. I do want to talk about this because this is like a highlight for me. Oh, someone's having fun. This is the highlight for me. I don't know if you have seen this. If you have Netflix, you have to go see this right now. Pose is the name of the show. It is spectacular. Like, it's so good. And I hate when people recommend shows, but let me just tell you, it's about the ballroom scene. Focus. Thank you, camera. I don't know what's up here that it's focused on. Anyway, it's about ballrooms. And when I was just starting my transition, I wasn't in the ballroom scene. I wasn't involved with that. But when I got involved as a HIV counselor and running HIV programs and things like that in San Francisco, I got pretty familiar with the ballroom scene that's there, and doing some work with some of the youth who were involved in that, and structuring some of our programs around the sort of the legendary and the icon sort of structure. I mean, it was fascinating and beautiful to get in contact and learn so much about this like history and culture that is there in the trans community that's like I feel is a part of my heritage, even though I haven't participated in a ball ever. I've seen one, I've been to one, but I've never participated. But I feel like that's like my community. It's and I like want to support it, and I love it, even though it's shady as fuck. But it's on Netflix, and it's all about that. And it's this amazing show. It has this beautiful story arc. It has really amazing morals. It casts trans people as trans people. It doesn't engage in like the tropes around trans people. Like, it's the most true to life, accurate representation of like trans culture that I've ever seen done on a professional level like this. I'm gushing at this point, but like if you thought that Orange is the New Black was great because it had a trans character, and which was revolutionary and wonderful, but also like think about it, that character was in jail because she had done credit card fraud to pay for her bottom surgery. Like, how fucking cliche is that bullshit? Like, it doesn't do that. I mean, it does, some of that. Nice. Nailed it. It does some of that. But Oh no, watch it. You gotta watch it. Morgan and I just finished it last night, the first season, and I've just been thinking about it all night. So like that's another thing I wanted to make a video about. But like that, what am I, like an entertainment reviewer? Like that's so off brand for this channel. So long video. Been really trying to get a video out. It's been like sort of weighing on me. Oh, here's the other thing. Jeez, if you waited 10 minutes and 30 seconds to get to this point, then like God bless you. And I'm so glad you're here. If you're still here, whoever you are, thanks. And you'll probably appreciate this. Morgan and I are having our 10th wedding anniversary. Just think about that. June 6th. So it is coming up, and we have some celebration plans that I am just so excited about. I can't wait. I am thrilled. But 10 years, can you believe that? We've been married for 10 years. I can't. It's undescribable because I'm, I hear 10 and I'm like, yeah, and here's to like 50 more. But, it's like, it's amazing how fast it goes. It just flies by. And that goes for like the amount of time that I've been living out here in California. Like I started these blogs in New York. It was transgendered in New York. I even pronounced transgender. I added the ED. That's how long ago and how inexperienced I was when I started this. And so now here we are years later, and I've lived in California for 9 years, and I've been married to Morgan for 10. And like, it's nuts. So the final thing that I'll leave you with at 12 minutes in like a rambly sort of blog, is that this is sort of the point I hoped to get to, right, at some point. I feel like we all do, where I transitioned when I was 20, and I'm 35 now, so I'm not far from half my life being lived as Erin, as a woman. My entire adult life has been lived as a woman, which is not insignificant. And like I've gone through everything that I wanted to go through. I did hormones. I had an orchiectomy. I did my bottom surgery. Like I am to the point where I am happy with my body, and I don't feel gender dysphoria. I have no regrets about where I am, and I'm fortunate. I pass. I can like mostly blend in if I want. Granted, you put my name into a search engine and you will figure out my tea pretty quick. But I've never shied away from it. I'm always open about it. And I think, if people get to know me, for like more than just in passing, they figure out at some point that I'm trans, because I talk about it to people I know, because it's, it's still a thing. It's not a thing that I hide, and it's a thing that I think adds value to the conversation and to their lives, just to understand a different narrative. And so I don't hide who I am, but it feels like I'm just so far into this transition thing. I'm 15 years into this transition thing, that it's like, am I trans? Like, I'm still trans. Like, I had a trans experience, but like, I feel like my experience now, it's a different trans experience. It's a different trans experience than it has been in the past. And it's sort of a different phase. So I don't know what that means for me or for this channel. I thought about like just ending the channel and just being like, just, you know, you did some really incredible stuff. You know, changed lives all over the world, you know, for over a decade. Like, the impact I've had is more than I'll ever know. But that's stuff I've done. Is it stuff I'm gonna do? You know, that's a real question. I mean, I look around, I see a beautiful new generation of activists coming in all the time. I feel like they're getting younger and younger all the time. I definitely feel like I'm getting older all the time, but I don't know. It's like I can't be the leader on this movement. I feel like I can't be the one out there, you know, screaming from the rooftops about every indignity. You know, it's like I loved working in the trans field when I was when I worked in the industry in HIV. I worked for 3 years professionally at a transgender drop-in center doing case management with trans people and HIV prevention with trans people and all this stuff my whole life. And then come home and I'd do YouTube blogs about trans. Like, that was my life. And I have a different life. I have a different life now because it's been a long time and time changes things. But it doesn't change everything. I still have this poster, this painting, which I made back in New York. Like, I still have New York on my arm. Like, I am the same person that I've always been, and I just keep growing. So I'm excited to see what I'm going to grow into. But speaking of growing, this video is growing way too long, so I'm gonna end it there on that weird note. I hope that if you saw it, you liked it. I hope that if you stuck around, that you really liked it and you got some value out of it. And I wish things were more clear, but I just wanted to talk, and I hope you had a chance to listen, and hit me up, send me comments, because I want to hear from you. And until next time, I'm Grishno. I'll see you later.